Hey, what's going on? I just want to show you what this product is all about. This is the 60 Writers Notebook entries in a Google Slides notebook, and it's ready to be made interactive. So I just want to tell you what's going on with this really quickly. So this is, it says 70 slides. I just want to show you what it's all about. It looks like a marble notebook, and it's ready for you to put your name and your class and your information. It has some dividers. I think this is zoomed in. I always tell my students to go to Zoom and zoom 100% so that they can see these. You're going to need to change the dates. Maybe do a quick Control F. Do one for Xavier because he's the sample teacher. Do one for 2020 because that was the year, and just find that. But the dates on these, as I was assigning them, you may want to switch them up. But what I was doing is what I found for effective for me was I assigned this to my Google Classroom, and then I found a workaround to be able to update the slides one at a time. So I gave them something like this at first, a student copy with my information and a sample, and they all opened up their copy in their Google Classroom, and they all would just write right on here. And then once I've opened it up once, through a workaround, through a plugin, I was able to just push slide by slide and was like, okay, well, it's the next day, personal goals day. Let's talk about it. So this product doesn't include some of those workarounds, like what I put some links as to what I used, which was a free plugin through Google Sheets that another teacher made. And to be honest, it was annoying to set it up for the first time because you had to assign it through Google Classroom, and you had to go on the sheet and make sure that that's talking to your Google Classroom, and it knows which one is your master copy, and then it knows which assignment you want to update. And then once it's all set up, it was kind of effective. So now I can say push to A2, and I can let it load. So this is the one plugin, and there's other ones that the other teachers have been using. The math teacher I work with uses a different one. So that once the free workaround was set up, this is what it looked like. I just have to hit assignments, go to push slides, and once it's already set up, you can say update slides, and it's going to be like, hey, do you want to update the student writer's notebooks to your master? You would just hit yes, and I want to update slide 67. And then you would just say, do you want it at the top? No. Do you want it at the end? Yes. And I would hit yes, and it would go through and do it and make it work. I'm just closing this out because I don't want to add that. So this is the link for how I got it to work. I know another my teacher I work with bought I think it's a pay add-on slip and slide, and there's probably a zillion other add-ons for it because my district was all about make an interactive writer's notebook, but then they didn't tell anybody how to do it, and nobody did it. I did it, but I don't think anybody else did. And all year I was trying to get teachers through setting this up, but I hope that didn't really update it because I don't know what that slide was. And it was, just that annoying process of having to have a Google Sheet for every single class. That might not be how you use this. So that's how you could use it. That's how I did use it. But the actual product is going to be these slides. So I'll show you what I was doing. At first, it started with just little, first little bit of class, first 10 minutes. We're going to be going to respond to this prompt, write a couple paragraphs out. Usually have some examples. And then it kind of just started to evolve, from little pictures to the ones I was making at the end started to look really nice. And they started to have different links in them, different videos in them. So Um, this one was like going off of typing.com as a follow up, something you're proud of. A lot of these getting into like accountability. These two are interactive, like um, blackout poetry. But you might want to like preview these and see what's going on, especially if it this social dilemma one was all about the Netflix social dilemma. So this was like a follow up to an Ed puzzle we watched. So some of these have links to games. This one was a YouTube video. This one was a YouTube video. So you're gonna want to check that these links are all going. Or that it works from the school, like that it's not blocked. When they hit present, that they actually can play their videos. That's something you want your students writing about or talking about. Some of these get more educational, like I did, like a quoting from a source. Some of these are silly, like the subway guitarist from Saturday Night Live, who sings, "Please give me money. I'm very hungry." So we had a lot of fun with these throughout the year. Um, and on mine, some of these it says extra credit. Some, you're gonna personalize this. It's like making a mixtape, writing about travel. And like you see, the ones at the end started looking really good. So I'm not sure if I'm using this next year. I'm not sure if I'm gonna update this product. I'm not gonna have an extra one of these. I already have that slide in. Um, but I don't. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna update it. If I'm gonna use this next year. But so this is what's being sold. It's about 60, and they're already in slides, so you can just hit present and project them. If you want to take it the next level and make this like an interactive writer's notebook that gets like the assignments just warp into their writer's notebook every single day, that's what I did. And if you get it set up, it's effective because it's all in the same spot. But it's going to be a little bit of a headache to get it initially set up. Here are some links to help you, but like tech support on that was tough. I was like that's these methods are possibly changing every year. This worked as at the time of making it. Works for my classes. It was free. I don't know about Slip Inside or other sources, but step one is having an idea of what your notebook's going to look like. This one was mine. Mine ended up being 140 slides because, like, I'm just going to show you how I used it. Because it was working, because I got the things updating, I started just copying the other work I wanted students to do and putting it in the spot. So like I didn't make these questions, so I couldn't include them. But you better believe that I wanted all my student stuff all in the same spot this year. Um, so this, like the riddle of the Sphinx for Oedipus, I didn't put this in there because, to be honest, they hated this one because it was just like guess at the answer, and if they didn't know it, they didn't know what to put. So I didn't include it. But we were doing Oedipus, and that's what I put. Some of them, like as we did, like some of them, like because I had it open, I'm just putting my notes for a lot of stuff. But like like a lot of this I that I was pushing, not a lot of it, but some of them, like I was really setting myself up to start next year with this created, and the product was like, okay, well here's what I'm allowed to share, and everything else was resources that I was pulling from other sources and putting into Google Slides that I'm not legally allowed to sell because it's not mine. But at the end of a year of using this, you're going to have it set up for the year after that to be like in a really good spot. So I hope this finds you well. I hope you enjoy the prompts. Just check the dates, pre-read it real quick, but this is going to get you set up. This is going to get you, even if you're just projecting them and letting students write them in a notebook, that's fine. And if you want to, go through that, it was literally a half hour to an hour headache setting it up in the beginning. But doing that, getting it set up, and just making it interactive, hooked me up so much this year. Literally, like, hold on a second. Do I have mine here? Where was mine? I'm just gonna put master. I want to show you one thing real quick. So I want to show you literally my curriculum. Not. I had like this document and I was updating it little by little, and it was actually showing students like this is where we're at. And at the end of the year, there's a 10 days of writing and 10 days of reading. We're setting up an end of the year portfolio. We'd been doing that all year. Like, we had functional writing resume. So what did I do? I not included in yours because I thought it was a cheap slide to include. But I was like, hey, copy and paste your cover letter, copy and paste your resume. I'll give you extra credit for it. All these big writing assignments, I would just make an extra slide. It took me 2 seconds to do it, 2 minutes to update it into theirs, and it saved me 10 days at the end of the year. Now I can do whatever I want for those 10 days because their assignments are already done. Anyway, I hope this helps you. I hope you enjoy the product. I hope that your little, that you can make them interactive, but that is beyond the scope of this product. Happy teaching. Enjoy.